Cycle lane with caution.
Take the 2 zeros. Take the 2 zeros away.
I'm like, how do you even get kept? Yeah, I have like 100 orders on me. 100 orders. Shut up. No. Boston's like, I have a...
Is this the road we're going?
We made it. Far off in the lands of East London, although I'm a fan of North London. Today was a treat. I'm here with Tracy. She's having a phenomenal time so far with me on a bus. Anyway, now that we've touched down, we've already seen a glimpse of it so far. It is what it is. It's a place full of steeped in history, particularly with the Asian community. It's going to be a place full of colours, full of sights and sound and smells. Being South Asian myself, I'm no stranger to it. Tracy unfortunately is from East Asia, so she might feel a little bit of a stranger. But the one common thing that holds both these cultures together, particularly with Tracy, is rice. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to indulge and experience, well, to examine, to see the beauty of this place, Upton Park Station, or otherwise sometimes called Green Street. So let's do this. Let's embrace. Let's see if we can go in. We might get told off actually filming in. This is what it is. Be prepared to see a lot of cultures, particularly within the South Asian side. A lot of browns here and there, even various colours, that is. Let's do this. Very beautiful. Bit of an awkward introduction to an Indian place, but this is very common around this area. You get to see a lot of this stuff around. A brief explanation is required as to why there's so many of us down on the east side in this side of town. At some point in history, the British had an empire, and within the empire, people could travel around other countries, particularly within the empire, that is. And a lot of these folks from my background, from the brown background, were able to come to the UK, particularly in the 60s, 70s, to establish restaurants and thingamajigs. And a place where they all sort of like to congregate was in East London, where we are right now, just a little shade up north from the river, so to speak. And this is where we are right now.
Is this
Go on.
fun?
This is about... Hello. Traditional jewelry store.
If this is the school.
So as you walk around these roads, all the roads, you get to see, well, you get to hear a lot of the languages from the Indian subcontinent. I'm sorry, Tracy. Yeah. So that includes Bengali, Hindi, Gujarati, something like. I'm one of them. I don't really hear too much of those, but anyway, yeah. Bengali, Hindi, Urdu, which is Pakistani for the most part, Punjabi. Those folks up there for the North Indians, the Sikh fellas. Also, you'll hear English, of course, broken English, that is, mixed and fused by Bengali and English. One of those two. And here's Tracy trying to. These are traditional markets.
Faluda.
She's going for the gulab jamun. She's going to go for it. Okay. It goes in. Wow. Spongy, right, in texture?
Syrupy.
Syrupy? That's what I assumed. Okay.
Just take a bite. Next one.
She's enjoying it so far. This is an experience.
I need half of it.
I think it's time for you to try the burfi.
Which is the burfi?
These fellas here.
I only have half of it.
Go for it. The sniff test. Just what we need. Ah, nice, isn't it? What kind of a texture is it? Cakey?
I like this one.
Being brown myself, as a child, I was often treated to these sweets very much so often. Well, very frequently that is. Did lead to some potential weight gain, but that was because I was generally a sedentary person. Anyway, it's fun, it's beautiful, it's part of our culture.
It's like sesame. It's like halva.
Like sesame?
Like halva.
Halva?
Halva. Like Middle Eastern.
Okay. How does one review this one?
This is mild.
A lot more mild in its taste, right?
It is plain mild. I like this one.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Okay.
Could there be... Just thinking. Is there a possibility of me having one? Or is this how it is?
I've left it half.
Okay, you left it half. She's a cool person. There's one for me, guys. Wherever you're watching, maybe you haven't tried Indian sweets. Well, this is it. Let's go try it. A burfi, a mild burfi, this one. Mild. Just as she said. Yeah, it's one of the most brownest areas in East London, and there's no shame about that because quite a number of cities in the world do have places where, you know, displaced migrant populations often reside. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it is the nature of life. It's the nature of, you know, uniformity, conformity. You know, being at one with your culture, being similar, having similar values. The home down the road is also, owned by your cousin, who also is related to you because they are married to one of your sisters. I mean that in a slightly humorous way, anyway. You got to have some laughter in this, despite the possible dodgy consequences of having a child being in a anyway, not to worry. Yeah, it's the nature of culture, the nature of people as it is. We're still going downwards. As I say, it's one big road in the land of East London. It's very interesting stuff. These ones don't have heads. It's just not a lot of mannequins without heads, but this does seem to have heads. I'll show you. Let's take a look at these hotties mannequins. That is with Asian traditional Asian outfits to keep me inspired, to keep Tracy inspired. Might turn me on, of sorts. Yeah.
Let's go to the shopping centre.
Cool.
Are you holding it tightly?
I think one of the number one things to see here is the statistics on faith around here, which seem to be in the favour of Islam.
Should we go in here?
Yeah, we'll go in here. We're going to go visit a shopping centre now. Well, welcome to the East Shopping Centre. So, more sari stores, more more cosmetic stores, just what you need in preparation for a wedding ceremony, one of the lot. Tracy is she's scoping in the environment. I think she might be the only East Asian here. She's a foreigner in her own country. That's what it feels like sometimes. Me being brown myself, I'm not a foreigner.
Can you eat the gulab chut?
We still have some of our sweets left. I think it's night time we get this completed before it gets, before it melts. I must warn you guys, there's an interesting thing to see here, and I think this is perfectly wise for the shopping centre to do it. There is an Asian bubble tea store, Mubu, in the spirit of diversity. I've got to be careful how much I film here because it could be a bit more, it could be seen as spying, but let's just show you Tracy with a bang. Tracy, could you shake that? Damn. I'm sure you've already thought about it, but as you know, from time to time when you do see this, when you do see the amount of colours, the energy, the vibrancy, and the jewellery, the things that people have to wear for cultural reasons, and the enjoyment behind it. And places like in the West, where people mostly have piercings, tattoos, all sorts of things, I'm sure there's a thought process in you guys' mind to reflect upon this. So, no matter what differences we have, there's always an intrigue. You might like it, or you might not. It might be for you, it might never be for you. For example, you might enjoy wearing jewellery, bangles and saris, but for some that'd be like, cultural appropriation, etc., especially in the West. However, in the West, there's also other issues, potentially, gender war, pronoun names, this and that, all sorts of things. We're here in the east side of town of London, we're more focused on cultural and family values of sorts. Wearing up, dressing up, these nice saris, these nice traditional outfits, respecting the culture, the traditions. It's an intrigue at the end, for good or for bad. The best way of saying this, unfortunately, it's going to have to come out like this way. You won't find a JD Wetherspoons in a place like this. Actually, that might be going too far ahead. Anyway, in the spirit of diversity, multiculturalism, and respect, we can delay JD Wetherspoons for another area. We could do that another day. If you're going to be walking these roads, you're going to have to be careful who you might bump into and what might be taken off you. So nothing has happened so far to me, but I have been seeing signs of pickpockets, and you will expect a lot of issues up ahead. You okay, Trace? She says she's cool. And she's really happy to see a bubble tea store as well.
On a Faluda.
A Faluda, huh? You see this board here? That's a traditional South Asian board game called Carom. You have to flick this thingamajig around and get stuff in. Using your nails. It does hurt your nails after a while, I must admit, but that is a very traditional South Asian thing, particularly with the Indian subcontinent. And that is something I had in my household once upon a time, along with my families, my cousins, and I'm sure one of you guys watching this thinking, yeah, I've had one too. I don't know where it is though.
Faluda.
Called a Faluda. See, Tracy has bought herself a Faluda drink. She's been able to try. I, for myself, have never tried one. So today's the first time I'm gonna try it. Go Trace. Thanks, mate.
Me first or you first?
Me first. Go for it. She's
It's creamy, spicy,
creamy,
Creamy
and
and
spicy.
spicy.
Creamy and spicy,
and
okay.
it's ice cold.
Ice cold. Just what we need. Verdict is really sweet. Okay, well, it's time for me to finally try it.
Cinnamon.
It's time for me to finally try it. Tastes like an Indian version of a bubble tea. At least them lot have some heads. Well, I suppose that's it, folks. That we've seen things together. We saw a culture walking and roaming past us. But yeah, I hope it inspires you guys to visit. Potentially even make you think to visit your own locations or your own locality. Maybe something similar is there. Where there's a large group of folks all shopping and bustling, roaming around. And this is where I end it. Been a quite adventure. Bit of tastes. I'm sure you felt it, tasted it as well. So this is goodbye for now. If you like what you see, you know what you have to do. If you didn't like what you see, well then you'll have to come down to Green Street, Upton Park yourself to try out those burpees. It's me, I'm Sunny, Tracy from Birmingham. Bin. Goodbye for now. Thank you. Fakcha.
No, it's
Fuchka. I'm not entirely sure what that kind of meal that is. I've never had one. But for another time, for the future, when I return, as always for a sequel, potentially, I shall try a fakcha. How about that?